Hello and welcome guys, today with a tutorial on flat design, or more like the workplace illustration I did like 1 week ago or so. And some of you guys requested a flat design tutorial because it's very modern right now. And yeah, I brought you this site here, flatUIcolors.com, and these are the basic colors that you should use when going with flat design. And you can click on a specific color, copy the value of it, and just paste it in your document. So I'm going to create a background, paste in the color, and we don't want the sharp there, we just want the color code. So lock the background and make sure to delete the stroke on it, because you don't want any strokes around our background. And yeah, so first of all, flat design doesn't use any embellishments, three-dimensional stuff, or like real shadows. But the last couple months, some long shadow styles came in with flat design, and I'm also using here a specific type of shadows that you have one side more lighten than the other side, so there's kind of like a really flat again shadow. And I'm creating here a rectangle. That's the basic ground plate for our MacBook that we're going to create, or laptop if you want to say it like this. And yeah, I'm trying to choose every time like really specific flat colors, as you can see here. So now I'm making the, I think it's called trackpad. If you are selecting two objects and then going to the top while pressing V, you can arrange them like perfectly in the middle, so you don't have to do that by the smart guides, which you can achieve by pressing Command U or Control U. And now I'm trying to make the area where my keys shouldn't go out, so that I have a specific range where all my keys are in. This is going to be deleted later on when all the keys are placed. So grab the rectangle tool, make sure that you don't have a stroke on it, just flat colors. And what I'm searching right now is, where is it? Transform, right? That you can create copies and you can move them horizontally, as you can see here. Well, I created like too much copies right now. So make sure to get the right amount of pixels and lower the copies, because they got out of our safety area, like I would call it right now. So yeah, I wanted to have like 10 keys on my keyboard per row. So that looks okay. Now go to Object, Expand Appearance, so that you don't have this one copy object. When you expand appearance, you have all separated objects but in a group. So now I'm trying to get some variation on our keyboard so that it looks more random and not that, I could just now copy and paste the first line and it looks very boring. So you have to kind of make it more realistic. And this is the little detail that you can put in flat design. You shouldn't put too much detail in your stuff when using flat design, but those kind of things are like necessary, I think, for a good flat design. So there I just created the backspace so that it's easier to recognize a keyboard out of our illustration. Here I'm just combining the different shapes by pressing V or A. If you're pressing V, you're going to select the whole group, as you can see here. If you're pressing A, you are just selecting a single object out of that group and you can move it by itself. So yeah, here I'm doing another longer key on the left. You can see I made a shift bar, and while holding shift and selecting different objects with A, you can move them all together. So you don't have to click on each single object, move it to the right, and then the next one, and so on. You can just select multiple keys, and yeah, that's the magic about it. Well, by clicking on these set of buttons or keys, you can hold Alt so that this modified cursor appears that shows that you can drag around your stuff that you selected, and it's going to make a copy out of it. So that's pretty neat feature that helps me a lot. I'm using it a lot, as you can see here. And yeah, so the basic shape of a keyboard is given. And I'm just going to make some little adjustments so it looks perfect to me. Everyone has a different view on it, so do whatever you want. So now we can get rid of our safety area because we got our keyboard working here. Now I'm going to make the space key. Going to arrange some keys there to make it look real good for me. And yeah, the keyboard, our ground plate, and the trackpad are finished right now. Just some basic arrangements right here, but the rest should be fine. Alright, I think the color isn't that good right now for our ground plate, so I made it like more bluish, more lighten to kind of set the focus on the laptop and go away from the background. That's also really catchy right now, or it's like eye candy, I would say. So now click on your rectangle, then go to convert shape to rectangle, I think, and make sure to delete the extra width and height and just the rounded setting so that your basic plate gets rounded. In the new Adobe Illustrator CC, you also have some round shapes there where you can adjust the shape itself and don't have to go to that settings. So as we are watching from above to our laptop, I'm going to make another rectangle, and by holding Alt and dragging on one of our anchor points, we can adjust it uniformly so that if I pull one side, the other side also adjusts. So this is our display. Again, convert to shape, rounded rectangle, make sure to delete the extra width and height and set the corner radius to how you want it to be, like watching from above. It should be right around, I chose 9 right now, but that's like too less. I would go for 12. So adjust the color again, so it matches the whole laptop itself. And what we're doing now is creating like the shadow I mentioned at the beginning. So make a selection with your pen tool or make a shape. Then grab the shape And where did I go, man? There. Drop it down below. Yeah, right, that's it. Make sure that you don't go over the keys. So grab your shape, then click on, wait, you have to select it first, then both. Then click on make clipping mask. And as you can see, we got the shadow just by itself, or more like the glossy look, not really a shadow. So you have to kind of try what you're doing. I did just create the clipping mask. Then I've copied the clipping mask and put it above just by using Ctrl+C by copying it, and then Ctrl+F by putting it right on that spot again. If you're pasting with Ctrl+V, it's pasting it randomly over the space, but you want Ctrl+F. So make sure to click that. Yeah, since clipping masks and how are they called here? Isolation masks, I think, aren't really good in Illustrator because I'm used to Photoshop where they are like pretty good. You can just put clipping mask everywhere on it and it's not that complicated as in Illustrator, but since you're working with the vectors and everything is like numbers and maths, it's very different here. So I got it working, I got the glossy look, our ground plate is again in there. Since I just copied the clipping mask, put it above it. And yeah, it's working. If you're having some issues with this process because it's like a bit of complicated, just ask in the comments. I'm going to reply in like 1 or 2 hours because I get an email and I'm going to check them really quickly. So yeah, the MacBook looks cool. Oh yeah, make sure to select everything and then press Command or Ctrl+G to make a group of it. And what I forgot is that when you're shrinking it down right now, we didn't had every object to expand the appearance. Because when you make like rounded rectangle, there's just an effect on it. If you shrink it, the effect is applying to the small version. As you can see here, our glossy look got shrinked too, and the effect applied on the new shrinked layer. So make sure to grab everything, group it, and then go to Object, Expand Appearance. But if you're expanding, be sure that your object is right, because you can't go back and change the rounded rectangle again and change the radius or something like that. So it's a step where you can't get backwards, but you can just easily make a copy of it, paste it like anywhere on the document, so you're safe to go if you really want to change something or so. As you can see, I just expanded the appearance of it. So yeah, let's get to the next object. It's the Apple Magic Mouse again, or not the Magic Mouse, it was like the Mighty, I think. The first one with the little circle or round ball in it. So yeah, get it rounded again. I chose like, what was it? 90 pixels for the corner radius. And I extended it a bit, so it's more like, oh, it's looking more like the mouse that everyone has in mind right now. Then again, expand appearance, and I'm going to use the minus front with the pathfinder to just get a really good looking shape right here, because one side was different and I wanted to change the color. So this color got like very bright and lighten. And now I'm choosing a more darker color and giving it to the other side. So that's the shadowy look I talked about in the beginning. And now we are just creating the mouse circle that was in it, that everybody has in mind right now about the mighty mouse or something like that. And yeah, that's a pretty basic object. Group it again, make sure that you expanded everything so it doesn't change while shrinking it down. And there we go, we have the mouse. So now our next object is the coffee pot. We are making a rectangle. Not a rectangle, a circle, a white one. So first of all, check that. A bit smaller maybe. And what I'm doing right now is using the shape of it, creating a copy and putting it in front of it. And what I just recognized right now is that I could have just chosen to set a stroke, but I wanted to make like the middle brownish so that you can see the coffee in the pot when looking from above. And yeah, that's basically it. Really a basic shape, like two rectangles. Circles again, and now I create a rectangle, a white one, and then apply again the rounded rectangle tool, delete the extra width and height, and set the radius to like, yeah, really high, because it should be the handle where you grab the coffee pot, and I made it like 30 pixels round. Make sure to expand the appearance again, rotate it by pressing R and holding shift so that you jump in like a specific type of degrees, like 10, 20, 30, 40, and so on. So grab a guideline by pressing Ctrl R and dragging it down, and make sure to align it pretty well so it's, yeah, again, very uniform and aligned everything, because the flat design is very clean. Now grab your pen tool, make sure to have a nice angle right there. Go around our shape, then change the color to a dark brown, or you could also what's better at all, you can change it to black and then arrange the opacity or use a different opacity to get the right brownish color so that you don't have to arrange it every time. So now make sure to get the clipping mask again for the black shadow of the color from the or to put like the shadow above our layer with the coffee. As you can see here, I'm in the content manager or in the layers manager. Now change it to dark again. And as you can see, we got the work in. Now go to transparency and adjust the transparency right there. It's again the clipping mask I put above it, and it's pretty cool, a pretty neat feature. Make sure to expand the appearance if you haven't right now. And group it again, and the next object is finished. So now we're going to create the pen. I've used a regular rectangle. It shows the color, flat color that is fitting to our scene, so yeah. And yet again, I'm going to make another rectangle to minus front it with the Pathfinder, hold Alt and make another shape, and then change the color again to get our shadowy look that I talked about. And now we just need a tip for it, and this is going to be achieved by creating a basic rect, at this point you can just use the pen tool. As you can see here, by going from the left side right to the middle, then to the right side and back again, so we have a nice rectangle, triangle there. So what I did now is create another copy of it, then hold Alt and go right to the top with it. Then change the color to something, like the first one on the right. And there you go, we have our pencil with the black and white tip, and that's looking pretty cool. Group it again and make it small so it fits to the other objects. And there we go, 4 objects right now. Okay, now we're going with the storyboard I have like on the left of my workplace, and yeah, that's again a very basic rectangle. I always mix that up. So change the corner radius to around 20, I think. Yeah, that looks cool. And at first I wanted to create an iPad, but I thought it doesn't fit in the scene. More like a storyboard looks cooler because of the pencil and stuff. So I just made another rectangle over my normal one, and yeah. So as I told you, you can select many objects and then like arrange them right in the middle, so there's no difference to the left or the right, it's equal. So as you can see, these are 2 objects, but just the one object has the middle object has the same color as our background, so it looks kind of like it's transparent, or like the storyboard is transparent. So yeah, now it's clear. Well, now go to Object, Expand Appearance, and minus front again, so that we just have the single object in the middle. If you want to like subtract it, but what I've choose to do is I keep the middle part, but just change the color of it. So to make it like a white paper or something like that. And yeah, now I'm going to make like the clip where the papers are holding in. So I've changed also the border color of my artboard to match it like how it's in real life. So here you can see my idea that I had in mind, like creating an iPad, because I was it nearly looked like an iPad, but I've chose to not do this because it didn't fit in the scene. Alright, now we are creating a rectangle again to delete the one side of our border and then rotate it and change the color of it. As you can see here, so that I get this shadowy look and a constant look on my design work here. So if I would forget like changing one color from an object and it's like one colored, it doesn't fit to the whole scene anymore. So make sure to keep that in mind. So now I've created this clip right here. Again, set the radius to around 13, no extra width and height. Make sure to put it right in the middle of our artboard. Yeah, maybe a bit bigger. There we go. Now, if you're holding Alt while increasing the size of the circle, it's going to get it's going to get bigger right from the middle anchor point. So this is our handle for the artboard, and I've chosen to make a stroke around it. Then again, expand appearance. Use a rectangle or something like this and minus front again so that you just have this single shape there. Yeah, and that looks really cool. Now I wanted to have some lines, so it kind of looks like real paper where you can line in the spaces or where you can type in the spaces. And I'm using the same technique as for the keys on our keyboard. So get one shape. In this case, it is this long line. Then go again to transform, distort and transform, then transform. I'm not finding it right here. There it is. Then make sure to create some copies, like 10. And don't do this horizontal because we want it vertical right here. And there we go. We have the lines. And the cool feature about this one is that if you're changing the first line while you didn't choose to expand the appearance, all your changes are going to apply to the other lines. As you can see here, look, I'm changing the width of it, and all the objects got changed. That's just working if you didn't choose to expand the appearance. So yeah, the artboard is finished too. It looks pretty cool, fits into the scene pretty well. So here we are. And now we are coming to our last object. And this time it's the iPhone. So, just like the other objects, create a rectangle, or first of all, create a new layer. And since the iPhone 5 is more, it's longer, make sure to keep that in mind, that you have the right proportions. Again, delete the extra width and size. I don't know who's using this. And set a corner radius. Yeah, the iPhone isn't that round right now. Yeah, that's fitting right. 14 pixel or so. Yeah, even crank that up, maybe 16. Well, it's actually really round right now. As I'm looking at it, I had it different in mind because of my iPhone 4G from the last year. Alright, we're creating the display right now. So create another rectangle in our rounded rectangle, make it white, And again, choose both objects, make sure to hit align to other objects or key objects, and then select to center it in the in the middle. Don't make the mistake that you chose align to artboard. We wanted to align to a key object. So now create another circle for the little camera, and again a rectangle for the speaker, I think. And again chose rounded rectangle with the same pixel width or pixel radius as above, as used before. Then create the home button, and what we have to do now is again use our shadowy look. So again, create a rectangle, minus fronted, so we just have one single object. Press O to rotate it, or you can also use R. I just used O to reflect it. Then choose color again. Make sure to arrange it to the background so that the display and stuff are in front. So that's this color isn't fitting in our background, make it more lighten. Or even, yeah, so I'm grabbing just the same colors from the storyboard because they look very cool. And there we go, the iPhone is finished, and this looks very cool. And now our whole set of objects are finished, and we just have to rearrange them to kind of fit to our real workplace. And yeah, in fact, I have like 2 monitors in front of me, and I'm using my MacBook Pro just for smaller projects. Yeah. So now make sure to unlock all your layers so that you can rearrange them around. And if you're grouping, then you can also align to artboard and then just hit center to the middle. So my iPhone is on the right from me or of me. There's a pencil on the right and the storyboard on the left. Mouse on the right, obviously. And my coffee pot is, yeah, anywhere on the table. Just randomly put around. So that's a really often used style nowadays. So yeah, flat design is really modern. I think it's also going to be expired in some months or so because it's really overused. Everyone is doing it right now, but some guys like really didn't understand the look of flat design. They're using like too much shadows or any textures or so, while in flat design you don't use any textures at all. No real shadows, just like long shadows where a fake sun is. Yeah, it's kind of suggested. And yeah, make sure to keep on track with this. Maybe your next client or something like that wants something in flat design because it's modern. You can always change any colors and stuff, put it into Photoshop, add noise. And yeah, make sure to subscribe, like, and leave a comment. And I really need your help for new tutorials because I have no ideas what you guys want from me. Keep on track, ArmaganVideos.